Let's be honest. You've hired duds at times. We all have. That star candidate with the perfect resume who 3 months in has the productivity of a decorative houseplant. That hire didn't just waste your time. A bad hire costs you, on average, 30% of their first-year salary in lost productivity, recruitment fees, and team morale. It's a slow, expensive poison. So, you look at other high-performing teams, the ones that innovate and execute flawlessly, and you wonder how they did it. They weren't lucky. They were strategic. They are talent hunters, not job posters. And by the end of this video, you will be one of them. You will stop collecting resumes and start building an empire. Before we move on, take a moment to absorb what you see on screen. All right, let's get to work. The biggest mistake managers make is thinking hiring is a passive activity. You post a job, you pray for good candidates, you pick the best of a mediocre bunch. This is a losing strategy. The pros operate on 3 core principles. First, stop waiting, start hunting. Top talent isn't looking for a job. They already have one. You need to become a proactive sourcer. This means building a talent pipeline before you have an opening. Go to industry events, not to hand out business cards, but to identify talent. Engage with interesting professionals on LinkedIn. Create an employee referral program that actually works, with a bonus big enough to make people pay attention. A $1,000 signing bonus isn't a cost. It's an investment in pre-vetted talent. You are building a perpetual motion machine of quality candidates. Second, the system is everything. Your interview process cannot be a casual chat. It must be a structured interview. This is non-negotiable. It means you ask every candidate for a role the exact same set of predetermined questions in the same order, and you score their answers on a predefined rubric. Why? Because it works. Organizations without a standardized interviewing process are 5 times more likely to make a bad hire. One landmark study found structured interviews are almost 35% more effective at predicting job performance than the lazy, unstructured, let's just talk method. It forces you to compare apples to apples and surgically removes your own unconscious bias. Your questions should be behavioral. Tell me about a time you had to complete a project with a tight deadline and insufficient resources. Don't ask what they would do. Ask what they did. The details on this slide are worth a closer look. Take a few seconds to review them. Probe with precision. Generic interview questions get generic answers. Tell me about yourself reveals nothing. Instead, use behavioral-based questions that uncover actual performance patterns. Ask, walk me through a specific situation where you had to deliver results under pressure. What was your exact process? Then dig deeper. What would you do differently now? Then rate candidates on specific competencies, such as problem-solving, adaptability, communication, and cultural alignment. Third, sell, don't just buy. In a competitive market, the candidate is interviewing you just as much as you're interviewing them. Your job description can't be a lazy list of corporate jargon. It needs to sell the mission. A great tactic is to include a day in the life section. Paint a vivid picture. Be transparent about salary and benefits, and be honest about your company culture. A brilliant engineer who despises teamwork will fail in your collaborative environment. A culture ad is great, but a culture clash is a disaster. Attracting the right people means repelling the wrong ones. Okay, you've done it. You're hunting talent, you've built a pipeline, and you're running interviews with the precision of a Swiss watch. You're getting hundreds of applicants for your new role, so you've implemented an AI-powered applicant tracking system, an ATS, to do the initial screen. It's efficient. It's modern. But wait, you say, I can't hand my hiring over to an AI system. That's right. This isn't about relying solely on technology. It's about using it as a co-pilot, but not the pilot. The AI does the heavy sorting. The skills test verifies the talent, and you, the human, make the final, nuanced judgment call. But what if the perfect candidate, the genius coder who learned on their own, the brilliant marketer from a completely different industry, the one person who could revolutionize your team, doesn't use the exact keywords the algorithm is looking for? What if your machine, in its cold binary logic, just threw the Michael Jordan of your industry into the digital trash bin before a human ever laid eyes on their resume? This is the modern hiring paradox. The tool you use for efficiency can become a barrier to excellence. But you're smarter than the machine. You just need to be its master, not its servant. Here's how you do it. First, audit your algorithm. Once a quarter, you or your HR team must manually review a random sample of the resumes your system rejected. Look for false negatives. Is it screening out people with project coordinator experience for a project manager role? Is it junking people from non-traditional backgrounds who have incredible portfolios? You have to teach your machine what good actually looks like beyond keywords. Second, use a skills-based gauntlet. Don't rely solely on the resume. For your top 20% of applicants who pass the initial screen, give them a small relevant work sample test, a real problem for them to solve. Want to hire a data analyst? Give them a messy data set and ask for 3 insights. Hiring a content writer? Give them a terrible paragraph and ask them to fix it. This moves the evaluation from what they say they can do to what they can actually do. This is how companies like Google and Unilever unearth talent that others miss. Doing an interview via remote video conference? Use that time wisely. For example, conduct intensive 45-minute video interviews. But here's the twist. Spend only 15 minutes on their background. Spend 30 minutes on scenario-based problem solving. Present them with 3 escalating challenges and watch how they think in real time. So let's recap. Mediocre managers post jobs. Elite leaders hunt talent. They build proactive pipelines. They use ruthlessly structured interviews, and they use technology as a scalpel, not a sledgehammer. They test for skills, not just credentials. This is how you stop the revolving door of bad hires and build a team that wins. But learning is useless without action. So here is your mission. Everything we've covered means nothing unless you act on it. And I'm not talking about implementing this someday when you have the perfect conditions. I'm talking about right now. Here's your 30-day challenge week 1. Build your talent pipeline. Identify 10 people in your industry who aren't looking for jobs but should be on your radar. Connect with them, not to recruit them, but to understand what motivates top performers in your field. Week 2. Redesign your interview process. Write behavioral-based questions specific to your role. Create scoring rubrics. Test them on a colleague to ensure they reveal real insights. Week 3. Practice hiring techniques internally. For internal promotions and project assignments, enable agile talent interviews and deployment to accelerate organizational responsiveness and improve hiring techniques. Master the system when the stakes are lower. Week 4. Document everything. What worked? What didn't? What patterns emerged? Turn your experience into a repeatable system. But here's where I'm going to push you beyond your comfort zone. Don't just hire better talent. Become the leader that top talent seeks out. Ask yourself, if you were a top performer with multiple offers, would you choose to work for you? If that answer isn't an immediate yes, then your real work isn't just improving your hiring process. It's becoming the leader that exceptional people want to follow. Your next hire will either accelerate your career or derail it. Choose wisely. Act decisively. And remember, in the war for talent, the best defense is an unstoppable offense.